again, everyone, and welcome to this latest recording in our GCMA Partnerships Network. Today, I am joined by Mike Chappell from Chappell Enterprises UK. Mike and his team there are one of our newer GCMA partners for 2023 that are hoping to get around to some of the regional meetings, to our national conference in November, and have some great insights into some of the issues the industry are currently facing when it comes to recruitment. So just to start us off, we're going to let Mike introduce himself and welcome to the GCMA Partnership Network, Mike.
Yeah, thank you, Darren. Hi, guys. Mike Chappell here. I set up my business about 2 years ago, specialising in recruitment across the board of temp to perm, permanent. We specialise in golf, sports turf, management, grounds maintenance roles. Within the golf industry, we like to cover roles on the green staff, as well as hospitality management, commercial roles within your business. So we come in, we can speak to you, see what your issues are, and support you from a full-blown recruitment process, or even just a bit of advice when you're looking for new staff and what you should be looking to pay, benefits, different options, maybe think outside the box with shift times and split shifts and job shares, etc. My background myself is I trained at college as a greenkeeper and head groundsman, finishing with a degree. I also worked in the clubhouse as a food beverage manager as well at Windmill Golf Course in Milton Keynes. So I've personally been there and done it. I've got a great recruitment team here. There's 4 of us in the business, and our main recruiter for the grounds maintenance team is also a former tree surgeon for a commercial landscaping firm, and also completed his level 2 in greenkeeping. So when we're talking about golf and sports stuff, we've got a decent background and been working on this for the last sort of 18 months.
That's great. I think we've chatted a few times over the last couple of months and met up recently at the BTME conference in Harrogate, where I think every greenkeeper in the UK and green staff had descended on the Yorkshire town for the week.
That's right.
But we had a good conversation there, and you've obviously got some great insights into some of the challenges that the industry are struggling with at the moment. I think for the last 6 months, the topic of recruitment across the board really at golf clubs, through F&B, grounds maintenance and greenkeeping, has been something our members have been discussing amongst themselves. And now it's great to have somebody on board with us that can offer some insights into that, and also the practical help of helping them to recruit the right people, whether that's on a temporary basis, seasonal work, or a permanent replacement for some of the staff that they've got there. So is that the type of services that you're going to be able to offer for GCMA members?
Yeah. So we, like I say, we can offer a temp service, seasonal. We do a lot of seasonal greenkeepers. We supplied Wentworth, Celtic Manor, and Forest of Arden last year with seasonal greenkeepers, as well as a few other sort of local clubs. A temp to perm is always quite a popular contract that we offer to clients, where someone will be with them for 12 weeks or 26 weeks as part of the agency, and then move on to the client's books, and then straight perm as well. We've got a few greenkeeper roles currently at the moment with clubs where we're sourcing them, skilled green staff. We work with a college in Northampton about recruiting apprentices, and so we can also help clubs sign their own staff up or recruit an apprentice to complement their team and their training. It's a tough industry at the moment, especially greenkeeping. A lot of people left the industry during COVID and went and worked in warehouses, or went and got changed careers. So there's not as many skilled people out there looking for work, or so a big thing that we work with clubs is unskilled workers, as in unskilled greenkeepers, say, that have not got industry experience but have got maybe transferable skills. So speaking to applicants and find out why they want to get into the industry, why they want to work on golf courses. Are they there just for the money, or are they there because they've done a bit of gardening at home and they've done a bit of work with a friend, and actually they would love to know more, so we can then, introduce them to golf clubs and sort of explain why, when usually a head greenkeeper or a golf club manager, where they're busy and doing their recruitment, they wouldn't look at that person because they're looking maybe for key skills or keywords in their CVs, because they haven't got the time to be going through their 20, 30 applications because there are a lot of people out there looking for work. Whether they're the right people for greenkeeping or bar staff and things like that is another thing. But we do well finding people with the right attitude to learn, really. And as long as the head greenkeeper, course manager, club manager are open to that, that is that's where it's quite successful at the moment.
Sounds good. I think just from talking to you and some of the other partners we've got, like STRI and Rainbird, that work in the agronomy irrigation sectors of golf, encouraging people back into the industry post-COVID, I think is a challenge. You mentioned their transferable skills, and I think people have transferred those skills out of the golf industry, and realize that they can, have a different type of lifestyle that doesn't necessarily mean them getting up at the sunrise to help with the green staff, but also I think we're now in a position where we're trying to encourage people back in with the benefits of being in the golf industry and the amazing work that goes on. We were very lucky to be at the Golf Environment Awards recently, and some of the work that goes on at the golf courses up and down the UK, outside of the general upkeep of a golf course, is quite incredible what people are doing. So it really is a vocation for these people, and I think it's promoting that to the industry and people looking at golf and greenkeeping and grounds maintenance and working in F&B as well. But I think specifically with your background in the grounds and the greens, I think that's the insights I think we're able to tap into with you and the team at Chappell.
Yeah, definitely, and also sort of making clubs aware. We do a lot of work and consultations with clubs and all businesses to look at why they're struggling to recruit, and a lot of clubs at the moment aren't just competing against each other for staff. They're competing against local pubs. They're competing against warehousing industry. You've got the big boys, Amazon, John Lewis, Asda, Tesco's, where they're paying £2 an hour more than what a member of bar staff might be earning, and what would you rather do? Some of these jobs are a lot easier than being rushed off your feet all day. So it's sort of making clubs aware and people aware. And when we even speak to people and applying for jobs, find out why they're applying for jobs on a golf course. Do they understand the ins and outs of it? And I suppose our background helps with that as well. Being actually working in the industry, is we can explain to all the good parts, but also the bad parts, to make sure that we're not, when we're placing people, we're not placing the wrong people that's going to leave after 2 or 3 weeks as well. Put them right in the good picture.
Yeah. So I guess it works both ways. The golf club need to understand what they're what they're recruiting for and what their business needs are, but also understanding what the individual needs as an employee for a work-life balance to come in to make that job the vocation that it should be for them. So it's a long-term investment rather than just until another Amazon job comes along that's more convenient. So I think there is a lot of work for us to do in the industry there to kind of change is probably not the right phrase, but to get people's thought processes moving in the right direction, to be a little bit more progressive when they're looking at who they're recruiting and what they need from their employer. So as I say, I'm sure you've got some great insights into that. From the from the GCMA perspective, do you offer any kind of consultation services, something that they can tap into as a first port of call to get in touch with Chappell and to see if you are able to help, any kind of audit or consultation?
Yeah. So we use multiple job boards, probably similar job boards to what a lot of your members use. You got your Indeed, CV libraries, Reeds. We use a few of the specialist like ARB jobs for tree surgeons and people with those sort of qualifications. And from there, we can then go into the background of these sites and create market insight reports. So I provided a bit of a talk to the Salisbury members the Wessex members in Salisbury last week, and explaining to them, in that local area, what their competition is, who are the competitions there, average pay rates, the amount of people looking for work compared, into certain parts of the industry. And I can do that as part of a group. With your meeting, I will happily sit down, 30 minutes, half an hour, whatever a client, one of the members needs, just to go over where they are with their staffing, what they want to do, even if it's not even using our services, but just giving a bit of advice about what they should be looking at, and offering, and making them understand their competition in the local area. So at least that puts them in a better stead, that when they are maybe putting together their new pay rises and packages on offer, at least they're competitive and attract the best talent.
Yeah, it's just attending the GCMA meetings, that peer-to-peer learning that we're finding is what our members are looking for from in-person meetings, is to be able to learn from people within our partnership network like yourselves, but also for you to facilitate that peer-to-peer learning amongst each other as well, and get some ideas going in a discussion format. So that sounds really good. There is a Chappell offer, isn't there, for GCMA members, in terms of a 30-minute consultation, just to understand the needs and to see how you may be able to help?
That's right. Yeah. So 30 minutes, as long as it really takes, to be honest. Some clubs already might know where they're at, and they just want some extra information, and maybe pricing, or we may need to sit down for an hour and go over, what they're currently paying their own staff, what the local golf clubs are paying, what other competition are paying, and we can sit down and go through that as well. So yeah, I'll happily give my time of the day to anybody within the membership, and who wants some more information on recruitment, or even a bit of apprenticeship training as well. So
fantastic, sounds good. So if our GCMA members want to look at our partnership page, if you go onto the GCMA website, under the partnerships, Chappell are down there, and they have a partnership page on there with all their contact details and a little bit more detail about the consultation that they're going to offer for golf clubs to understand a little bit more. If you were to give one little nugget of advice, Mike, just to kind of end this call, what would that nugget look like? You say one thing golf club managers.
The best advice that I've been given advice, especially come across last week in Wessex, was when people are recruiting, if they've got the time, try and speak to as many of the applicants as possible, and why are they that person applying, even if the CV doesn't look amazing and tick all the boxes. Just if you've got the time, speak to them and just find out what their motivations are. You will speak to a couple of people that are just applying for the job because it's a job and they're desperate, but there's other people that have applied for the job that the skills on their CV might not show exactly what you're after, but in fact, if they've got the right attitude to learning, or actually they've got some fantastic transferable skills that doesn't actually show in that CV, that's what I would advise to as many people. That's, as an agency and as a business myself, that's where I've been successful, by finding good candidates, because we speak to everybody. So, if you've got the time, I would definitely, as many candidates as possible when you're recruiting, to find that diamond in the rough.
The diamond in the rough. I'm just happy to find some of the golf balls that I keep losing in the rough. So we can find some diamonds in there. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Mike, thanks very much for your time.
No problem.
Great to introduce you as an initial introduction through this video call to our GCMA members. I know the Wessex region have seen you in person already. Hopefully some people may have bumped into you and seen you at the BTME conference, where you won the best small stand. Is that correct? Yeah,
we won the best small stand there. I think it was more the fact was giving so many freebies away and all that sort of business, and then spin the wheel. But that was quite an achievement for us on our first time. So really proud of that one.
Fantastic. Well, we'll be certainly seeing more of you, and through our GCMA channels, you'll be learning a lot more about Chappell Enterprises. So, Mike, thanks very much for your time today.
No, thank you.
And everyone else, we'll see you next time on the GCMA Partnership Network, and thanks for joining us.